Ooh, I get so excited. All these people are like so success-minded. All
And you
right.
have success steps. Yay.
Of course I do. So, create a plan, please. I know this sounds like work, and I know entrepreneurs don't like to write stuff down, but the rock stars will tell you without a shadow of a doubt, if you ask any of them, what got you from here to there, they'll tell you, I had a plan, I knew where I was going, I knew how to get there. Doesn't mean you don't stumble or get into sparkly things along the way, but at least you have a plan. I don't know how anybody does online selling without a plan. In fact, I don't think they do. Make sure you remember those 4 P's we talked about: purpose, product, platform, and people. People being the tools that you can use out there. Please understand search. I'm going to highly, highly recommend that if you can take a class on search engine optimization. Rockstar Basics and OSI Rockstars has multiple classes on keywords, on search engine optimization. Rockstars has tons of classes on eBay stores, how you use your website. Understand search, because if you don't understand how your platform interacts with that type of platform, you are sunk online. You've got to understand that. Make sure that you look at international. Okay, I know that there's some pushback from that from some people for a variety of reasons, but I'm telling you, if you want to go multi-channel, you've got to go international as well. Really look at the platforms that fit the business. Do not just go after a platform because it looks cool. A lot of them look cool. Doesn't mean it fits your business. And then also the same thing with software and VAs to get to where you want to go. I agree with Ashley. She says, do not take any search engine optimization webinars through iPage, nothing but marketing scams. There's a lot of scams out there.
Yes.
Take them from people who actually know, and more importantly, really pay attention. I drive my rockstars crazy all the time with, okay, look how cool this is. This is how Google's interacting with eBay stores. Okay, let's fix this. Because I find that fascinating, that relationship between how the search engines actually go into the rest of the web and pull back all that information. It gets really amazing. So I promised you guys a really special deal, and I would love to have you guys join us at OSI Rockstars if that's a good fit for you. Again, I'm all about fit. If there's a better membership site out there for you, join that, because I just get excited about people's success. But Rockstar Basics has now, gosh, we're heading close to 100 hours of training on Rockstar Basics, and we're getting ready this summer to change the price, but I promise that you guys can have it for $29 a month. There's 80 classes listed up there. That will keep you busy for easily a month, or you can sign up for a whole year. Here's your secret link so that you won't be affected by the price change: rsbasics.com. Again, that's kind of the light version of OSI Rockstars. If you want to join us Rockstars, we would love to have you. We move fast at OSI Rockstars. Definitely not for beginners. Not that we don't love beginners. It's just definitely we don't want you to sink. We want you to swim. So yeah, there's some really great opportunities for you guys to learn a little bit more.
Excellent. I think Karen probably has 3 pages of questions, so whenever you're ready.
Okay, so I'm just reading some of the things. So Deborah says, I've been through Power Seller College.
I didn't know what that was. Yeah.
Is Power Seller College is something, or are you talking about the class today? Top rated sellers, this is master's level. Oh, you guys are so welcome. I just love hearing that you guys were able to take something that we taught today and take it forward. Linda says, what would you consider a beginner? Somebody who hasn't registered on eBay yet. Anybody else? We're good to go. And what's amazing about the Rockstars, okay, I have to brag about how fabulous my Rockstars are. It is a family. Like, as soon as you come into Rockstars, you're inundated. If you are a shy person,
good luck.
I don't know any Rockstar who's shy. Yeah. You're just inundated with this entire family who's like, okay, we're here. How can we help you? It reminds me of a bunch of, like, a whole hundreds of puppy dogs meeting you at the front door when you join Rockstars. Yeah, but really smart puppy dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay,
well,
Karen, I am ready for questions.
Believe it or not, I do not have 3 pages of questions because you were really, really good getting them as we were going. So, but one of the very first questions, and you pretty much answered this, is how do you keep track of all the sites when you sell 50 to 100 items a day?
So again, that goes back to, great question, that goes back to that multi-channel tool. If you're trying to do it yourself, oh my goodness, that's so hard. I remember when I started on selling, and then I started teaching my sister, who's quite successful, how to sell, and she called me and she's like, how do you keep track when you have more than 5 items? It was just overwhelming already. So if you're trying to do it yourself, yeah, it's going to be really, really hard. You need some sort of tool to help you out there. We mentioned just a very, very few that are there. There's so many opportunities out there depending upon what you sell and the platforms you sell on it. Does that answer the question, Karen?
I think it does.
Oh, okay. I'm sure that they can write back in if I've missed something.
And then the next question, and you kind of covered this too, is what software do you recommend to run multi-channel businesses? So
I would love to say, here is the perfect multi-channel tool, but there's not one. There's something out there that works for your business, and even then it's not going to be perfect. Even then you're going to go, oh gosh, I wish it had this, or oh gosh, I wish it did this, or oh gosh, I have to do this myself. Unless you are wealthy enough to have somebody code it specifically for your business, nothing out of the box is going to be perfect, but you need to look again at your roadmap to success. Where do you want to go? Like right now, and Jake, just correct me if I'm wrong, right now Stitch Labs doesn't stitch up with buy.com. If you are heading in that direction, you're going to want to talk to Stitch Labs and say, hey, at what point does that look like that you will be going to buy.com? Because you need your roadmap to match up with your tools. So there's not one perfect. It's just like I can't tell you a perfect platform. We sell mermaid caramels on Etsy, but we would never sell them on eBay. It's not the right platform for them. I have a business on eBay that sells all items that are Mad Men-ish. Now we could easily open that same store on Etsy because it's the same feel, the same platform feel. Good?
Yeah, and Jake says you are correct.
Okay.
Yeah, next one. And this is from Gladys. There was a big thing a couple years ago with Google Shopping, which is now the pay-per-play, and the rule of duplicates. Does that duplicate thing still matter, you know, having the same thing on every platform now that Google is pay-to-play if you're not paying?
That Google is pay-to-pay if you're not paying. Okay, so yes and no. Who asked the question? Do you know?
Gladys. Yep,
Gladys. Great question. So I love how Gladys is thinking. So one, it's kind of out of your hands. Two, what you're seeing happen, you will rarely see in Google Shopping duplicates because they're looking for matching fields. So if your title on eBay is the same or similar to your title on Etsy or another platform, they will only choose one. Google Shopping has a whole list of reasons how you end up on Google Shopping. It's not just, you can't just pay to be there. I want to be really clear about that. There's a lot of other factors that go in on top of how those products are actually shown on there. It's a whole business unto itself that people have to handle. So don't worry about it. I want you to go and get your stuff out on every platform that you need to get your stuff out on. Let eBay, let Etsy, let whoever your companies are handle those feeds. Google will work it out with them. Is that okay?
Yep. That makes sense to me. Another person wants to know if a blog would help her business.
Without knowing about her business, I can't answer that. Blogs will help some businesses. Blogs won't help other businesses. Blogs have yummy SEO, but a lot of people start blogs, again, just to start blogs. And my rock stars know this because they'll come to Ask Janelle, which is, we have a live class every other week where they get to ask any question and we just answer it live. It's just live coaching every other week. And they'll go, I want to start a blog. I'm like, great, where's your roadmap? They go, shoot, I just wanted to start a blog. So what is the purpose for wanting to have the blog? What is your intention for it? How does that work with your total package of your business and where your business is going? I don't mean to sound vague, but it's different for every business.
Well, it is. I mean, I have, 4 dead blogs that I don't do anything with because they just don't fit. All right, let's see. Oh,
I like Marjorie's comment. I apologize. I have to get back to it. She
That's
says,
okay.
if this is an example of your rock star training,
Yep.
then we should all join ASAP.
I saw that one. I like that
Marjorie,
too.
you're adorable. Yeah, and again, the same thing. You know, Lynn Drawley has an amazing membership site. Deanne Ackerman has an amazing membership site. There's so many amazing membership. Again, there's tons of them. I could list them like platforms, but you have to find the one that fits your personality. That fits. Make sure that you sign up for a membership site or training that is going where you want to go, who has the knowledge that you need in your business. Sometimes that's Rockstars, sometimes it's not. I've handheld people over to Lynn's site before because she would be more successful for them in what they wanted to do in business.
Yeah, and someone earlier was saying they were thinking about hiring on an eBay certified coach, but she's rethinking it now. And what I had said to them was, you know, having a coach is a wonderful thing because they can help you see the bigger pictures when you're stuck in the minutia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do private coaching. I'm fully booked right now and have a waiting list, but Rockstars is a great way to get live coaching. And the Rockstar group, gosh, our Rockstar members are just amazing. They're geniuses. They are. I can brag about them all day.
All right, the next question. Are you concerned about, when you showed Dream Adventures page, were you concerned about the white space on their store page, or were you more focused on the searchability from Google?
So let me go back so people can see what they're talking about. So this particular part right here, actually that has to do, I believe, it may look different if you pull up dreamadventures.net on your computer. It may look different. I think this is sized. Do you remember, what was it, like a year and a half ago when eBay did that weird resizing and all of a sudden everybody's eBay stores look psycho?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think the person who did this has it sized for optimal. So I think on a different monitor, because I have one of those big wide monitors, I think that's where that white space is coming from. But it's not too bad. I'm more interested in that you come in, you know what they sell, that Google spiders can get to them and feast away on all those yummy keywords. Yeah, good question, though, about design.
Okay. I'm going to kind of skip around because some questions came in.
Sure.
Let's see. So someone wants to know, one person wants to know they've sold on eBay for 4 years, and is that good for, which Rockstars would be better for? And then the other one just wanted a little more information about it. So I figured I'd lump them into one question.
So let me give you the personalities of Rockstar Basics and OSI Rockstars. That would probably answer some of those questions. So OSI Rockstars has 1,000 hours of training. We have live classes every week. We always are running series classes on Thursday. Right now we're in a series called Profitable Sourcing. We just wrapped up Profitable Newsletters. Profitable Numbers, which was my favorite class. We've taught about, you could pretty much name it and it's under the sun. We have classes on here from PageMage, we have classes on here from stamps.com, almost everything, but we're constantly teaching new things. And I think that gets really exciting. If you go to the education stage, you can see literally every single class we've ever taught on Rockstars. That's crazy. Okay, so OSI Rockstars is the full-fledged deal. You have access to me through every other week live coaching. You have access to a private Facebook group. It is the full meal deal. Can I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Without getting in trouble by whoever owns that. Rockstar Basics is the light version. There's no live classes. These are all recordings available 24/7. You can see the classes here. There's Roadmap to Success, Profitable Keywords. We've got some Facebook classes on here, Pinterest. There's classes going up as we speak, like literally as we're talking right now. There's the eBay fee and seller changes for spring 2013. ArcSpin classes are going up here. Love ArcSpin. So there's new classes going up on Rockstar Basics all the time. Plus, as Debbie knows, we just added a private Facebook group for Rockstar Basic people only, because they don't have access to the Rockstars, they don't have access to me, but they have questions. We figured we would create a membership place where they could interact with each other and help each other out. So Rockstar Basics, if you go to rsbasics.com, is only $29 a month, and you have access to all these classes. So, whew. Crazy. Marianne Loudon says live coaching is supersized. Basic is just a food. You guys are so funny.
That's pretty good. Basics is the a la carte menu. OSI Rockstars is the full meal deal, and if you want to supersize, there's private coaching. I like that. Good job, Marianne.
And Cindy, whose business we showed, she owns a couple. It just got deleted. Oh no, there it is. She owns Twirl Planet. She owns Bombay Bongo. She sells on eBay. She sells on Amazon. She sells on her own website. She's just kind of all over the place and just doing awesome. She says, I've been a rock star since the beginning. I recommend it highly. Be prepared to work. Your business won't improve by osmosis, so you can't just go to bed and listen to the classes. It's a wonderful, supportive community, tons of recorded classes and info. Cindy said that I could go on vacation for the next 3 years and you guys would still have classes to watch.
Cindy, bite your tongue, girl.
Cindy, exactly.
Did you see that coupon from management about, or the question from management about merchant accounts? Just going back on questions, Karen.
I'm getting there.
Sorry, I got everybody off track.
That's okay.
No, actually, the questions were on track. That's what they wanted to know about. But I was trying to get back to those.
And since they just scrolled past my screen and went together, I figured I'd do them before I went back to my other ones.
That's what they wanted to hear about.
One of the questions was talking about the beautiful banner promotion boxes and how do we get those kind of things designed?
Yeah, so it's hard. I'm just going to start there. It's hard to find a good graphic designer. I swear I wear out every good graphic designer I find. These particular ones were done by Jennifer at Sitting Boo. If you go to their homepage, you can actually, I think it's a Sitting Boo at the bottom. It's hard because Jennifer isn't super consistent. She produces amazing things. She's just not super consistent. So sometimes she'll take you on as a client, sometimes she won't, sometimes she'll answer your emails. So to me, that frustrates me. It's just like picking platforms. That would drive me crazy on a platform. But you can see she does beautiful, beautiful work. Twirl Planet, I think, was a Sitting Boo one as well, right? Cindy will tell me. I think Twirl Planet was. Oh yeah, yes. So Sitting Boo is really good. Milo is really good. Jennifer at Meatworks, we love Jennifer at Meatworks. She does a lot of work for us. Love. In fact, let me just pull that up so that you guys can see. Meatworks.com. So you want to email her about whatever it is. I also kind of want to throw Kelly under the bus, except I think she's book solid. Kelly Hopper, who's one of our rock stars. Oh gosh, she does great work, but she's in high demand. So yeah. Ooh. So it's hard. You really have to do some search. I've recently started to do some extra searching on Odesk just to find some more people because we really just wear them out.
Once you recommend them, then all the rock stars hire them, and then they're booked solid for the next 2 years.
Yeah. Yep. Once we announce them to the rock stars, that's it.
We gotcha now.
Okay, another question. Do you list the same inventory on multiple venues for more exposure?
Yes. Yes. I hope that kind of sums up my whole class right there. Yes.
Well done.
There we go.
Yes.
I like that.
And hopefully more sales and more profit.
That's right.
Yeah. As long as you have a multi-channel tool so one of the great things that multi-channel tools do, or should do for you, is let's say you have widget 1 across 3 different platforms. When you sell widget 1 off of one of them, it pulls it off of the other 2. So there you go.
Exactly. Because having to do it manually, I've done it. It's not a fun thing, especially if you have a one-of-a-kind thing.
I need to log out so you guys can see Odesk, apparently. So people were asking about where I hire people. I hire people from a lot of places. Odesk is by far my favorite. I have found so many crazy, awesome people there. I would say 50 to 75% of my people working right now come from Odesk. Yeah, Loris is saying the same thing. Huge fan of Odesk. Same thing, you can't just hire the first person that sounds good. There's some hoops to jump through, and we actually have a class about it on Rockstars. But yeah, I've just found amazing, amazing people. Super, super cheap. I have a guy who works for me every day for an hour to 2 hours, 7 days a week, and he charges me $3 an hour. Love him. He needs to come here and do my laundry that I haven't got to. Yeah. I haven't found anybody to do laundry, but everything else, holy cow, you can find it on Odesk. Here's what's funny. So eBay inventory. I'm just making something up. Yeah, so 2 pages of just people with oh, there's an Amazon person. So wait, now I'm finding people.
$6 an hour. Did you guys see that? $6 an hour. Unbelievable.
That's crazy. So Odesk is my main, like, fabulous. Loris is loving it. I also hire people off of Fiverr for, in fact, this is so much fun. This is like a huge Rockstar class in the middle of the week. So Fiverr. I know a lot of you guys already know about them. They're a really fun site to buy crazy things on.
Great place for birthday parties.
Oh, I did. I see. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Fiverr we actually use for the ministry that I do. Almost all of the video work on Daily Video Bible, all of the entrances, all the exits, all of the custom music that was done on Daily Video Bible. So there was 14 songs created. Mm-hmm. All of those original songs cost me $5 on Fiverr.
Love it.
Isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. So I use Fiverr a lot. I used to use Elance a lot. I've really gotten away from it. It's just gotten really, really bad. I don't remember the last time I hired somebody off Elance. Craigslist is another one. So, yeah.
Okay.
Marianne's doing my laundry. Sweet.
That's awful far distance to travel to do laundry, but okay.
She just wants to shop. She wants to shop.
Marianne and I have a lot of catching up to do. It's been a while since she's been here.
All right. Back to my questions. When you were talking about shipping internationally, one of the questions was about using eBay's global shipping program.
Oh, so some of you guys are going to agree with my answer, some of you aren't, and I'm okay with that. I don't like eBay's global shipping program. Other people love it, so I'm again, I think it's one of those things you have to go in and look and see how it works with your business. I don't like it because can I just say there's some glitches in it that don't work well with my business? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. Well, and that was my answer. I said it doesn't work for mine because my stuff is all sent first class shipping and first class international, and it doesn't. It would put the price way up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right now I am not a fan, and you guys know that if I constantly am testing things out. Our Rockstars are constantly giving feedback. Our Rockstars actually get put into a lot of beta programs to test products. I am just not impressed with that shipping program at all. Sorry.
We'll stick with stamps.com for that.
Yeah. A lot of people agree. Some people disagree. And then Barry has the question, well, you're on international shipping. He blocks a lot of countries because he's concerned about fraud. Would you recommend this?
Mark asked that?
Barry.
Oh, sorry, Barry. I didn't hear when you said. So Barry, it's a great question. I don't block anybody, and I've never had a problem, but that doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't smart. I think it's smart if there's certain countries that you're running into problems with. If you sell a certain type of product and you're always running into fraud coming in from Brazil, then blocking them makes sense. But you've got to be careful. Here's my mindset and why I think this, Barry. I do not want to run my business based upon the 1% of people who aren't kind. We'll just put it that way. I want to run my business based upon the 99% that are, and I truly believe that most people are good people. I can run into problems here and there, and I try and work it out the best with my customer service, but for the most part, I ship to everybody. Everybody's money is good, and I try to really run my business based upon that fact that all people are good. And interestingly enough, that's how eBay was started. Basically, all people are good. You guys remember him saying that?
Yes.
Yeah, way, way back when.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got one little bitty question, Karen. Can I throw it out there?
Yes, you can.
From Manage or Mark, do you recommend getting a merchant account to use on eBay?
That's a 6 of one, 12 of the other. So, Mark, is that?
I think so. It's MGK.
Manager Mark, maybe.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah. So, yes and no. Here's the thing. I don't like giving surface answers. My rock stars know this because I could send you down a wrong path really quick. If the totality of your business manager, Mark, looks like you're going to need a merchant account for other places, like you're opening your own website, and that makes sense, then I would take that into consideration. eBayers, I'm going to put in quotes, for the most part, are very used to and very comfortable and very accepting of PayPal. If you don't need a merchant account, it doesn't, as far as I'm concerned, again, I'm not seeing your whole picture, I'm not seeing your roadmap, but for most people, you're not going to need a merchant account. Remember, you guys, the buyers only buy two things. They only buy security and confidence. I don't care what you sell, they only buy security and confidence. And there's certain pieces that cover you for that. PayPal is one of them. A lot of buyers love when they see that PayPal logo, not just on eBay, but other sites. They go, oh, I know PayPal, I trust PayPal. It provides that security and confidence for a lot of your buyers. So if there's another reason you needed a merchant account, then yeah, definitely. But for the most part, you wouldn't have to go through that expense. Kathy, our genius accountant, who's also a rock star, says, agree with Janelle. For eBay, no merchant account. If opening a website, then yes, a merchant account that goes through authorized.net is good.
Thank you, Kathy and Janelle. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question, and I think this is when you were talking about eBay, so I'm going to gear it specifically for eBay. I know some of the other platforms are different. Do we need to pay more to advertise to have our listings seen in other countries?
Oh, gosh. Who asked that question?
Daniel.
Do you know? Daniel.
Daniel.
Great question. Oh, I get so excited about international questions. So the answer would take me about 2 hours because that's how long it took us to teach this on Rockstars. Do you remember? So it has more to do with, one, figure out if you're already showing up on the other sites. That's my easy answer. How's that? You can go to the other sites, so ebay.co.uk and ebay.whatever, ebay.fr, ebay wherever, and see if you're already on the other sites. Why would you pay to be on another site if you're already there, right? eBay, to fill up certain categories, to fill up certain needs for international marketplaces, will automatically just take your listings and move them internationally if you've agreed to sell international. So that gets real exciting. I don't think I've ever paid. I mean, you can, but I don't think I've ever paid to be on another site because our rock stars are getting such great exposure, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On other sites. So that's my easy answer, Daniel, is check and see if your listings are already on the other sites. And I would probably check the big ones, depending upon what you sell, probably UK, probably Australia. Again, it depends on what you sell.
Yeah, I know that Kat and I know one person who actually will physically list some of her products on the sites in the other countries. But
right.
That's a totally different way to do it.
Right, and you can totally do that, but just check and make sure that you're not already listed, because otherwise you're just paying twice.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Kathy, real quick, what website do you want me to use? People are asking about you. She'll tell us in a second. Ruben says, I desperately need an accountant who understands e-commerce, drop shipping, and some of the cash basis versus accrual basis accounting challenges present. Any recommendations? Kathy?
Yeah. That's what
without a doubt. So,
yep.
Kathy? Yeah, so we'll find out here in a second which website she wants us to send you to. So,
okay.
Kathy's also a rock star, and we're really blessed with insider information from that one.
The next question, and it's talking about social networks. Can social networks be considered platforms?
Yep. Oh, do they want more to the answer?
I like that answer. Yes, they count.
All right, so yeah, they can, but you've got to be smart about it. So Pinterest, really exciting, and Sandy's going to come on and talk about that. Who was asking? Ruben, there you go. So let's talk about Pinterest really quick. Pinterest just changed their, hey, I've got an item to sell pins. Did you guys see those emails that came out yesterday? Now you have the ability to put, which you did before, the price, but more importantly, the location. So they're becoming more dominant on Pinterest. Guess who has a huge, gigantic stake in Pinterest? 3 guesses. Who understands e-commerce, is going global, and knows where traffic's happening? Our friend Mickey, yeah. So Mickey just huge amount of money into Pinterest. And it doesn't surprise me that they're moving some of that into more of an e-commerce solution. So yeah, Pinterest can totally be an e-commerce solution. I want you guys to remember with social platforms though, what is the first word?
Social.
It is not sell. So understand that your customers who are in those social places, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, they're wanting to be social with you. If they happen to like you and you mention your information to where to buy your product in the middle of that, so be it, but don't constantly pitch. I get requests every day to be friends with somebody, and I accept their friend request, and then 2 seconds later I start getting all these pitches. Here's my eBay item, here's my Etsy item. I even had somebody private message me as soon as they became my friend and said, here's a list of all the places we sell, we hope you'll buy from us. And I was mad. I wrote back to her and I'm like, this is my personal Facebook account. I accepted your friend request. If you want to be my friend, great, but I don't want all of this. I don't even know you. So be really careful about platforms, using them as selling platforms first. You need to use them as social platforms first, gain the trust of those relationships, and then move forward from there. What was the class we taught at Rockstars about that everybody fussed at me about the title?
Relationship marketing. Relationship marketing?
It was about a teenage boy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Quit treating your quit treating your online business like a teenage boy.
Something like that. I think it had a few more words in it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a great class.
It had a descriptive word that someone was offended by. I can't remember right now, but something like that.
Yeah, but it's true. Quit acting like a teenage boy that doesn't even want to get to know the girl. All he wants is the sex. I'm just going to be black and white. He only wants the sex. He doesn't really care about what her favorite flower is, right?
Right.
So I see that happen on all social sites. People are using them as platforms where they just constantly pitch to the person. They just want to get to the end result, and they forget that they're dealing with a human being that does want to tell you about their favorite flower. Yeah.
Dell put it in for you.
Thanks, Dell. We have so many great rock stars.
Yeah, and that was one, because my example always is I have like 1,000 friends on Facebook, and most are sellers. And even if they just post one or two, this is what I have for sale, that's 2,000 posts on my page a day of buy my stuff. Makes me crazy.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you can never pitch on your platforms, on your social platforms. You definitely can, but there's a place and time for it. And we do teach that. That relationship marketing class was a powerful class. I love that class, where it was like 7 or 8 weeks. We just talked about how to have relationships with the people online, get them to trust you. It's where all marketing has been heading for the last 5-6 years. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. This is a pretty generic question, but where can I learn how to duplicate my listings on other platforms? So I'm thinking this person is ready to move to multi-platform, but how do they get them from point A to point B?
So that depends upon the platform. So let's go back to Jake's company. In this, and Karen's actually testing them out right now, so Karen can weigh in, but something like this, once you have looked at some of the multi-channel companies and you're like, Stitch Labs or Solid Commerce or Channel Advisor looks like it might be good for me, all of the good ones have this trial period that allow you to test it out. In there, Stitch Labs actually made an appointment with Karen and called her, or she called them, and she said she was on the phone for quite a while with them while they helped her integrate. So anytime you have a multi-channel, that integration happens, it can be a little bit overwhelming. Vendio also offers, time with a real person to do that. So realize the good companies are going to kind of hold your hand through that initial part, because it is something new for a lot of us going to multi-channel.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great. They walked me through, and I have a little bit different thing that my inventory right now between my two platforms is totally different. So I was able to import it all in. So it imports it, and then they stitch it together. I know one of the big things when you're moving multi-channel is having your SKUs match up. For any type of inventory management thing, I know that whatever you call it as a custom label on eBay, make sure you're using that as your manufacturer SKU every place else. or you're going to do a lot of changing of numbers and letters and things.
Right. And one of the things I love, 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 love as you move into multi-channel is it forces you to be organized in your business. Anything that you have built like a Winchester house suddenly comes into full focus, and those are the things you have to go back and fix, which is good, because if you're going to grow your business, if you're going to move into multi-channel, especially if you're going to move into multiple platforms with multiple languages internationally on top of it, it gets really exciting when you have everything right. Your building blocks are solid, and then you can move forward. So I think that's really good.
Yeah, because building it to start with can be tricky. I'm working with some people that are doing that. Let's see. We have 3 more questions that I see, unless some more come in while I'm not looking. Do you know how long it takes to index new items into Google and Google Shopping?
Yes.
Okay. Next question.
Next.
That's all That's all they asked. That's all they asked if you knew. So yes, next, please.
Sorry, I'm kind of a little. For those of you who haven't met me, I have red hair, so there's that.
And she's functioning with no coffee in the house. She told me that.
And no bacon.
Oh my goodness.
No, yeah. So, in answer to the question, yes, I do. It completely depends. You can send something. You can do something. Let's say you put a custom page up. Let's say you send a feed to merchant feed, anything having to do with Google, and I've seen it be indexed as quickly as within 2 to 3 hours. I've also seen certain things take up to 6 months. 2 hours to 6 months is the answer. Now, I don't want to frustrate you with that answer. We do teach the rock stars how to, if it gets much past a day, how to go in and fix that. So we don't leave you hanging. I'm all for the 2 to 3 hours. It's sort of like GoDaddy. If any of you guys have forwarded a domain, they always say, oh, this should happen the next hour, but it could take up to 48 hours. Yeah, but usually it happens within 10 minutes. So same thing with Google. Usually it's more on, it's pretty quick. And the easiest way to tell, honestly, is to simply go into, we'll test out Kathy's to see if Google's picked her up. Simply go in, copy and paste something, not a ton, but copy and paste something that's unique on your site, and Google will tell you if it's picked it up. And it has. Okay?
Okay. I'm going to skip this one to last because this one's a whole big, long thing. Let's see. The next question is, this person is listing pre-owned vintage jewelry currently on eBay, Etsy, and Ruby Lane. Do you have any other suggestions? She's also looking for her own website solution.
Can you repeat that slower?
Sure.
Sorry.
You want me to talk slower?
No coffee. No coffee.
All right. I'll try to talk slower.
Thank you.
This person is listing pre-owned vintage jewelry, and she currently sells on eBay, Etsy, and Ruby Lane. She wants to know if you have any other suggestions, and she's also looking for her own website solution, but she's really looking for stuff to manage inventory since it's all one of a kind, since it is vintage.
Right, so something like Stitch might work for her for something like that, might be a great option for her. Again, go in there and play with it and figure out what that looks like. Test out Ruby Lane. I'm kind of frustrated with some of these kind of fringe places. If you're having sales on it, that's awesome. But a lot of these sites aren't willing to put the money into your infrastructure. You just saw how much money Amazon, eBay, and Etsy are putting in daily into your infrastructure. That's pretty important. Be really careful about those things. I would definitely consider a website in your future. That makes me real excited. There's Volusion, there's BigCommerce, there's just a trillion platforms out there. Vendio has one. But again, make sure that anything that you're doing has a plan with it. You know where it's going, you know how you're going to grow it, and please promise me, because I make the rockstars swear to me, please promise me that you're not going to do any work, big work, like a new website, Q3 or Q4. You should be selling and raking in money Q3 and Q4. All Rockstar projects are required to be done in Q1 and Q2, okay? Just promise me. And we're hitting close to Q3, so be careful with that.
Okay.
Good?
It's good. Now, let's see. Got 2 more. 3 more. let's see. I have to find them now. One of them is, what do you think of Squarespace?
I don't know Squarespace. If people are going to start asking, what do I think of? There's so much stuff out there.
That's true. Another question is, what do you think is the best software to work with if you're going...
Oh, I'm sorry, Karen. I know Squarespace.
Okay.
I didn't know the name in my head. Yeah, so Squarespace is another good one. Again, I need all of you guys to apply. Just because I say it's good doesn't mean anything to you. It shouldn't mean anything to you. What you need to do is go in and match up your plan for your business to the platform and the people and the softwares that you're going to be using. That is the most important thing. I kind of want to say, don't listen to me. Yeah. Good.
Okay.
Sorry, Karen, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nope, that's okay. I'm scrolling because now so many others have come through. So I'll ask this one, which is going to be a kind of longish answer for you while I look for the other two that I know I'm looking for. What if the internet tax comes to fruition? How are multi-channel sellers supposed to stay sane?
Coffee and bacon. So we can play what if games all day long, but at one point there wasn't any taxes in this world and business had to deal with the first taxes, and they survived. I realize it sounds overwhelming, and if you listen to the news it sounds really overwhelming, but why don't we wait and see how everything sifts out? For Pete's sakes, it's either going to be crazy awesome in the sense that those of us who are willing to work past the surface are going to have all the business because everybody else is going to bail. And that works for me. I have no problem working hard. Or two, it's going to be a thing where third-party solution providers are going to get involved in the mix, and we're going to have solutions like Outright who does amazing work for us across multiple channels. I'm not, until things are finalized, I'm not concerned. Until things start anybody who knows me, including the Rockstars, knows I'm not a worry person. Until it actually happens, we'll just figure it out when it happens. But entrepreneurs, true entrepreneurs, have always worked through everything. You just figure it out when it comes, and there's almost always solutions that have been built for it.
Okay. There you go. All right. I'm still scrolling, trying to find one person. Tim's first question. But we have another question that it's from Homer, and he wants to know, what are some suggestions to test out as a seller for multi-channel for Amazon? And he gave me more information on that.
So all the multi-channel tools we showed you, Stitch integrates with Amazon, but Karen was telling me multi-channel fulfillment isn't part of it, and you'll actually find a lot of multi-channel tools. You want to ask them which part you want. Amazon Merchant Fulfilled, Amazon FBA Fulfillment by Amazon, Amazon Multi-Channel Fulfillment is definitely a third piece of that. You want to, again, if you're going to be doing all those three, you need to have a management tool that does all three, and that's kind of a rare thing because that's 3 new languages. I told you Amazon has a lot of languages. That's 3 new languages for that. Woo.
Yeah, because not everything. I found Tim's question. A lot of them will do if you're doing your own fulfillment for Amazon and your own fulfillment for eBay, but when you add that FBA piece in, that makes it trickier to juggle it.
Correct. And that's why I put up Seller Engine. Seller Engine are definitely the go-to guys for anything having to do with FBA type of stuff. Not to mention they're geniuses. Again, try and get to the people and understand who the people are who run these companies. They need to be I almost said fashion forward, and Ewan, who runs Seller Engine, is fashion forward. He has purple pants that are just awesome, but they need to be forward thinking entrepreneurs. They need to know what is coming ahead, and if you talk to the people who run Seller Engine like Ewan, he's already there. He's already part of the future. Mickey, already part of the future. Jeff Bezos, already part of the future. You've got to know the minds behind these companies, because if they're not headed that direction, it's going to be a business that will eventually go out of business. They're just not going to make it.
Okay. And then I found Tim's. His was very specific. What multi-channel tool do you like for 90% retail arbitrage, new toys and appliances, and 10% long tail Corvette signs? And his totals, I'm assuming his total sales is 1K to 15K a month. So that volume.
So it actually has not so much to do in this case with what you sell, long tail or short tail, but it has to do with what platforms. Based upon the wording you're using, I'm kind of thinking you're using Amazon. I could be wrong. So if you're using Amazon Merchant Fulfilled and FBA, only FBA, are you using multiple channel fulfillment? There's 3 solutions on Amazon for sellers. Then the platforms go into that. So I would start with the platforms I showed you guys and then talk to them. Homer says, I've not found a complete solution for Amazon yet. Talk to them. A lot of them have things in the works that are coming constantly. Again, they're having to recode whole languages on top of what is already working. So in Stitch Labs, look at how many people they've gotten playing nice with each other. Now, if they bring another one to the mix, it has to play nice with all the other people that are already there. That's kind of hard to do. That's hard to do in real life.
You know, Amazon just announced, I think 2 days ago, Janelle, that they are now accepting the feeds to Amazon for your products, the same kind of feed you use for Google Shopping.
Yeah.
So Amazon's trying to learn how to play nice, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, as a person who's done uploads for a lot of these different sites, they're all different. Every setup is different. Mm-hmm. Every column is different.
You know, Amazon moving close to Google, I thought, was a nice sign.
Interesting sign.
And well, exactly Karen's point, you guys have to watch those signs. You have to be on top of what the internet is doing. Mm-hmm. Who is playing nice with each other? Who is buying whom?
Yes.
Who is working with whom? You've got to be really careful about that because there's when you get to these big companies, there's some big egos involved. Mm-hmm. And these companies do have to play nice. I don't care what eBay says, they have to play nice with Google. They don't have a choice in this matter. Amazon has to play nice with Google.
And Google has to play nice with everybody else.
Right.
And Mark put out a good point, and it's kind of true, is for most multi-channel tools, you need almost multiple software platforms because you need inventory management, you need customer stuff, you need listing things. Some of them do all of that, but not many. Most of them do different little parts of it.
Right. So great point, Mark, and kind of what I said at the beginning of the platforms, the multi-channel tools, you need to understand that nothing out of the box is going to do everything for you. Like I said, nobody's doing my laundry yet. Mm-hmm. And so you do have to have pieces of the puzzle, just like we have accountants, but we also have Outright as possibly another opportunity to deal with our accounting. We might have a listing tool, and then we also might have a content management tool. I am trying to get away from people having a million tools because those are just sparkly things. But I am trying to get people to understand, let's have a plan first, and then let's see who can fulfill most of that plan and go from there. Because what's happening, sadly, Mark, and I'm sure you know this, people are just getting stuck. This is overwhelming. I don't know what to do. And I'm saying just do something. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Please.
All right. As far as I can see, I have 2 more questions. One is from Anna, and she says, I know it takes money to make money. How much should a small store spend on all these platforms, advertising, etc.?
Good question. So without knowing the fullness of your business, I talk a lot about balance. For the most part, stereotypical entrepreneurs are cheapskates. Now, don't anybody argue with me that you're spending all this stuff. They're cheapskates. They want to run everything off of the eBay sell your item form. It drives me crazy. You need tools, you need people to run your business. Now on the flip side, you do have to be smart about that because you don't want to run your business into the ground. So that's, knowing your numbers and what you can take on. If you have a plan, in our Roadmap to Success plan for Rockstars, we actually have a 1-month plan, 3 months, 6 months, it goes all the way up till you want to get rid of the business. Like, what's your escape plan out of it? along that, we also have lists of when do these tools come into play. At what point can you afford to bring in these tools? And I guarantee anytime you bring in a tool, you should be able to be stretching a little bit. It should be a little bit hard for a couple months if you are adding tools correctly. Then that tool comes in, it starts working, starts making you money, and now you can bring in that next tool that you need.
Yeah, she has about 150 listings, 150 listings she wrote.
Yeah, and it depends, Anna, on where you have those and what tools you need. You might need PageMade or Stamps.com way before you need a listing management tool. So there is a common sense order to what you need first and foremost. Maybe you need a loan from Cabbage before anything else. I don't know. Yeah. 10 sales a month. Anna, we need to have a different conversation.
All right, last question, I think.
I'll tell you otherwise.
I know. This is from Ruben, and he said he stayed away from Amazon because he doesn't like selling on a platform that competes directly with him. What are your thoughts on this?
So Ruben, hand me the ego right now. What I find a lot of times is people, I had somebody who emailed me, Ruben, when we opened Rockstars. And they said, I love you, Janelle. You just teach so awesome, and I know I could be successful with it. I love this concept that all your teaching now will be centralized, and I don't have to find you on tour. But I hate the color orange, so I'm not going to join. I am not joking you. I received that email, and instead of replying, I just felt sad for the person because they were choosing the stupidest reason and actually blaming me because I had picked orange to not be successful. So be really careful about the reasons you don't do something. I will tell you that those of us who do Amazon, I don't care if there's a company that exists named Amazon who does compete against me. There are so many opportunities on Amazon to make so much money, it's not even funny. I don't know what I would do without Amazon like in Q3 and Q4. It's crazy.
That's when I focus on Amazon.
Yeah, don't let that stop you, Ruben. Also, don't let it stop you when you hear from other people about things. That drives me crazy. Oh, well, I heard that Amazon does this. I heard Etsy does this. Don't listen to that. Figure it out for yourself. Have your plan. Figure out what the platforms can do for you. I was just at a trade show. Honest, Ruben. I was just at a trade show, and I was in the booth talking to potential people to buy wholesale from them, and Amazon was talking to them right next to me. If that is not competing head-to-head, I don't know what is. It wasn't even on the site yet. I was competing head-to-head with Amazon at this trade show, right next to me. I still have no problem. I came away with some fabulous, fabulous contacts from that trade show. Do you know that I have more items in my sourcing buckets than I can keep on top of? I have people calling me saying, hey, Janelle, you said you wanted to buy our product. We haven't heard from you. I'm like, oh, my gosh. I literally can't get stuff up fast enough to make money fast enough. So, Ruben, don't forget about Amazon. You might have to shift your gears a little bit and not compete head-to-head with them on some stuff. That's a valid point. But there's so much opportunity on Amazon. Don't let that be your stumbling block. I want to see you, Ruben, up on Amazon before Q3. Deal? FBA, though, not merchant fulfilled.
Okay, I've got two more questions. This person her name is Linda, and she has 1,700 listings on eBay and her website. She needs another platform. What do I do?
Linda, what do you sell? That would be a start. So again, there's so much more information out there. It's kind of hard to give surface answers, but hopefully Linda will write in and tell us what she sells. But how awesome to start, and she's at least on eBay and Amazon. I mean, on her own website.
Collectibles.
So, Linda, I would actually recommend before you jump to another platform that you make sure that eBay and your website are set up correctly for Google. Kind of the same thing we talked about today. You don't have to have all the beautiful designs, but you do have to have the optimization there. So before you jump to another platform, make sure that those are optimized for you. Remember we were talking at the beginning of class, don't have 5 platforms that are all working at only 40%. Right? That's crazy. So make sure those are optimized. I would recommend if you sell collectibles that you get to Amazon before Q3 make sure you do FBA, not merchant fulfilled. And if they're vintage collectibles, make sure you're on Etsy.
Okay. Where was I? Okay. Raymond, he wants to know what is FBA and what is merchant fulfilled.
So merchant fulfilled means that you fulfill it. So your widget is sitting in your house or your warehouse or whatever, and when it sells on Amazon, you send it in. FBA is fulfillment by Amazon, meaning we have, for a small price, hired their warehouses, their warehouse workers, their pick and pack crews, their shipping crews, their customer service crews to do all that for us. So I send in my 20 widgets in a box to the warehouse that Amazon dictates. They take care of it from there, and when it sells, they ship it out. Can I tell you how incredibly nice it is, Raymond, in Q3 and Q4 to not ship? Oh my gosh. On top of it, FBA gets better sales, higher ASP prices, more exposure because of the Prime program that Amazon has.
Okay.
So I'll answer Stephen's question. So he's asking about the... Not a problem. Stephen, that's a great question. So let me log out, actually, because I won't be able to show you. He's saying, isn't this, he's trying to get the price for Rockstars, isn't this contrary to getting to know me before asking for money outside of what I request? So if you click register on Rockstars, you'll see it takes you to a page where it just wants your money. I totally agree with you. I hate sending people to that page. Anybody who knows me knows that I want you to work out well at Rockstars. I want you to be happy here. I do have conversations with people. I have conversations in classes like this with people. I have conversations at conferences with people. There has to be a right fit. And if a company only wants you to see the information on their site and not understand the personalities and the leadership behind it, then there's a problem. So that's why I didn't send you to that site. That's why my thing said, I'll send you the Rockstar Basics. But if you're going to become a rock star, which we're definitely interested in people becoming rock stars, but we want to make sure it works for you, okay? So Rockstar Basics is $29 a month or $299 a year. That price is going up. Rockstars is $97 a month or $997 a year. Why is it only $97 a month? I just realized that. Wait.
Because you just have this silly thing about having it.
That's wrong. So Marianne says, it's not about the money. I will vouch for Janelle. She will tell you if Rockstars aren't for you. Yeah, I've refunded people's money before, and like I said, hand walk them over to a membership site that fit them better. It doesn't make sense to take your money and then frustrate you. That's crazy.
And Janelle operates Rockstars the way she recommends you operate and add services and things to your business. Janelle always says when you're looking for a tool or a VA or whatever to add to your business, they should be making you money, okay? So Rockstars is the same way. It should not be costing you $97 a month because you will learn how to make so much more money by being in Rockstars that it's not the cost, it's how much profit you make.
Yeah, and I think what's amazing to me is the Rockstars who get in and actually do the work, like Cindy said. There's no osmosis success that happens. Actually do the work based upon our training. They just see some really huge successes. I was thinking about Danny the other day, who had been on eBay forever and a day when she joined Rockstars, and how much did she increase her business that first year?
116% or something, Danny?
Yeah, it was.
Chime in.
It was something amazing, and she will even tell you she thought she had it all going on, and her friends had convinced her to join Rockstars, and all of a sudden she had this huge increase from just taking some of the classes that first year. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you that my business has come together in the last year or so.
Karen's been doing
but it
really
is work.
Awesome.
It is work. And you still have days where you want to quit.
Yeah, and Janelle is mean. She actually makes them work.
Yeah, she does.
No excuses, Janelle. That's her name.
Steven says, I started eBay in 2000. Do I have to start with Rockstar Basics, or can I go directly to OSI Rockstars? You can go directly to OSI Rockstars. You can pass go. I ended up having to offer Rockstar Basics. Rockstar Basics wasn't part of my roadmap to success for a while, but people started saying, hey, I don't have time to participate fully in a membership. I don't have time to attend the live classes, send in the questions. I just want some of the training. And we were selling the training at the time on CDs for $97 for each training. And I thought, gosh, maybe I should just create a membership site where they can go and watch the training, and it will be way cheaper than them having to buy CDs, and it'll be a little bit more intentional as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and
so
it's
that's
also,
where Rockstar Basics come from.
If people on this webinar have already seen your teaching style, so that's not really a reason, but when people talk to me about Rockstars and they're just not sure, I recommend Rockstar Basics so they can listen to a few of the classes and get a handle on your teaching style and say, hey, yeah, that's what I want, that's what I need. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I'm not trying to dissuade anybody, but Rockstars isn't for everybody. There are so many great membership programs out there. I just want you to be successful in whatever it is that you do, period.
I like that. Point. All right. Well, I think we got most of the questions, and we're at 2 hours, 15 minutes. So anybody, last call for questions if you got anything?
Well, I've got one last kind of big, it's kind of a long question, so I'm going to read it kind of slowly.
Is it the international one?
Yeah, that one. Since you read it, can you give an answer?
Well, I didn't read it. I just saw it come through. So let me...
Okay. I have it. I'll read it to you.
Okay.
With international shipping, as a seller, there's a lot of risk to selling internationally. Unless you want to pay top dollar, there's no way to track packages, and PayPal wants tracking information when a buyer opens a case. So they were saying that that's one of the advantages of the global shipping, but...
I've got it pulled up. So, Luke, I understand what you're saying. You're saying, hey, I use global shipping because it helps fix that part of the problem. He says, I've had buyers decline packages because the custom duties were so expensive when the package arrives. Surprise! There's so much risk selling internationally outside the global shipping program when selling high-priced items. What do you suggest? One, it's a good question. Two, if global shipping works for you, Luke, then use it. I honestly am not, there are certain programs I'll tell you, oh my goodness, please do not use that program. It's not that with global shipping. A couple of our Rockstars use it. Most of our Rockstars don't because they've run into problems with the global shipping program. Problems that they didn't have before they started using it. For the most part, Luke, and it completely depends upon where you're selling and how you're selling and what it is that your products are. For the most part, you're not going to run into problems selling international. There is always going to be international stories. You can find a story about anything out there that goes against what it is I'm selling. I'm just saying overall, international, one, you need to do it because that's where the marketplace is going. I always teach best practices. I don't teach what I feel. I teach best practices where the internet's going. So you've got to ship international. If global shipping program with eBay is working for you and allows you to ship international, awesome. Then use that program. If you get in there and it's not working for you, I'm saying don't quit on international. Keep at it. There's still opportunities out there. So, yeah, that's one of those ones where I'm not going to say, no, definitely don't use it at all. And hopefully that answers Luke's question. It's a great question.
I think you've got them all. And we only went 2 hours for our 1 hour webinar.
Okay, guys. Well, you can find Janelle all over Facebook. Seriously, Google Janelle Elms, and you'll find her all over. You can connect. And you can find us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/groups/TRS webinars. So we look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks again.
I have added everybody in that's requested.
Fantastic.
And I'm supposed to have turned to your guys' page. I'm not being a very good Vanna here. There you go.